property on the lake, I wondered why it wasn't.
Well, it already has a recreational use, so I don't know if, imagine Muskegon Lake Plan would have talked about that it needed to be different. You know, we didn't talk about changing the use at Fair Marquette Park either, we just talked about how to get access to it.
There's been a lot of information about that project, that potential to land swap. It's been in MI Biz West. It's not that, we don't have access to that information, but it sounds like the plans are not final, so, or not ready for the official public input process yet. And that is something that we want to make clear that, talking and giving input to the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership. We have those input sheets in the back. There's one on Fisherman's Landing. There's one on every other publicly owned parcel on Muskegon Lake back there. One side is a map. It shows exactly on an aerial what is owned by a public entity. The back side is information that's been received so far by the public about the value of those facilities and recommendations about how they could be improved. So if you use those sheets, take them when you leave tonight, and like I said, come back to a Muskegon Lake meeting or contact me. I have some cards I'll put in the back. You can get my email. Kind of easy to find. I'm at Kathy at MuskegonLake.org. That's one way to just remember it. But that doesn't take the place of giving input to the city on these important processes and hearings that they have for conversions and things like that, because you still need to do that. Other questions?
Just to follow up on that, it's actually on our agenda for Tuesday. So the city of Muskegon is on our agenda for Tuesday to extend the management contract for Fisherman's Landing by an additional 2 years. So it's about to expire, and so we're being asked to approve a 2-year extension of the agreement. So if you do have questions about the future of it, maybe you want to come to our meeting on Tuesday at 5:30 that starts at City Hall, 933 Terrace. So right now we're moving forward with renewing that, but staff may have more insights into what the future holds otherwise.
Thank you, Ken. There are a number of elected officials here. Why don't you raise your hand if you're an elected official? Kim, Ken, we've got quite a few, Terry, Brenda. So thank you very much for being here. Oh, and newly, good, congratulations. Okay, another hand in the back, Gail.
Okay, this is for our state friends. It has to do with the value of the easement a little bit. The last couple of years, we've seen an extensive amount of erosion around the south shoreline. And I mean, enough that we're losing 5, 10, 15 feet of shoreline, out to the lake. And so if we have a permanent easement, it goes basically to the shoreline, and all of a sudden the shoreline is, 15 feet back. It doesn't meet, the same description that's probably in the easement language. How do you deal with that when you come to value?
There's some whispers up here that that's a good question. I think at this point we have to take that into consideration. What it was originally, what it is currently. There's a riparian right or value associated with that in some way. We have a pre-real estate section. Want to get them involved with how you do that evaluation.
So one final question that's come up a lot. Nobody's asked it here tonight, but I hear it asked a lot. What are the charter parks on the shoreline? Which are charter parks on the shoreline? I know there's a lot of parks that are charter parks that are not on the shoreline. But which ones are charter parks, and what does that mean if it is a charter park? 'Cause that's completely separate from the DNR.
We have a book of them at the city. I don't know them off the top of my head.
All right, well, I'll list them off. Okay. Well, of course, starting with Richards Park. I think that's one, right?
Yep.
Fisherman's Landing. How about Hartshorn? I think we talked about Hartshorn. Okay. Harbortown Beach.
Yes.
That is one. Well, that's a question. Maybe we don't have all the answers tonight, but that is something that comes up quite frequently, because if it is a charter park, then my understanding is that in order to change those or sell those, I'm not sure which, Actually, it requires a vote of the citizens of the city of Muskegon. And that's to sell it or to,
Conveyance, sell.
just to sell or change its use dramatically maybe or something, I don't know.
Cottage Grove is
Transfer,
also a
convey, or
charter
sell.
park.
Transfer, conveyor, sell, okay. All right, well, it is 8 o'clock, so we can't keep anybody longer, but I definitely urge you all to come to the Muskegon Lake Watershed Partnership public meetings. They're at noon here every other month, and they're in the evening at 6 p.m. at different watershed locations. Look at muskegonlake.org, the website, for more information. And we will be having a nice facelift of that website soon, so it's a little old-fashioned looking right now, but we do put a meeting calendar on there, so you can get the annual meeting calendar for 2020, and hope to see you at our future meetings. Thank you.
Don't forget the state